What's up, guys? Ryan here from Designer Bites. Have you ever wondered why other graphic designers can succeed in creating a compelling and interesting layout while you still struggle with how to manipulate elements on the page and make them look great? I'll tell you how you can take this layout and turn it into this. By implementing this simple tip, you'll become a better graphic designer. Stay tuned. So the one thing you need to know is that graphic designers use this concept of white space, or known as negative space, in their design layouts. So what is the concept of white space? White space is basically letting your elements breathe on your layout. Leaving a certain amount of space around them will let your layout be more appealing and be more legible. I know, you might be saying, Ryan, well, white space isn't everything, and there's so much more to design than that. You're right, but if you can grasp this concept of using an appropriate amount of space around each element, you'll amplify and be much better than a lot of certain graphic designers out there. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. I set up an example layout for you, and we're going to manipulate the elements on this page so that it has more breathable area around each text box and image, and make it more interesting so that it appeals to the viewer. First, set up your blank page in InDesign. InDesign is a great layout program, and we will be using it for this example. Next, drag in your headline copy. We will likely have to resize this, but let's bring in the next element. We want to now use both of these text boxes and find a balance of space from the headline to the body copy. Let me show you a quick and easy way to keep spacing evenly between one text box to the next. First, select your text box, then hit Command+B on a Mac or Control+B on a PC to open up the text frame option box in InDesign. Under Inset Spacing, we are now going to add spacing that will shift your text inside of the text box based on the amount you chose. Quick tip, make sure to hit the preview box in the bottom left corner to see how this looks in real time. Otherwise, you won't know how it actually is manipulating the text on your layout, and you'll have to keep going back and forth in the text box to try to make it work. Once we have adjusted our text box spacing, we are ready for our first image. Depending on the image you use, you may have to adjust its settings, including opacity, saturation, contrast. Easy to do in Photoshop, but for this example, I used a photo that has a ton of white space on the left so I can show you how text is manipulating and reacting to the subject that is found on the right. After we have set the image, we need to adjust how the text wraps around the subject. By selecting your pen tool, we will draw a rough outline around the subject. We want the outline to be away from the edge of the subject, not perfect, since we are determining where the text will end. After we have our outline in place, we need to have the text react to the shape we have created. We need to select the shape that we created in the text box on the left. We will then open our text wrap window and select Wrap Around Object Shape. This will adjust the text in our text box, making it look like it is wrapping around our image subject on the right. Once we have this in place, we can adjust it as needed. Now we have an equal amount of space around our headline copy and our body copy, and now we have equal space from our subject photo to our text on the left. We now can add in our last elements on the page so that we can fill in some of that negative space. While having some negative space around your elements is great, we still want the composition to make sense and look great. The next element contains a callout. Using the same tip from before, we can set the inset spacing to, let's just say, 0.125 inches on all sides to have an equal amount of spacing inside the text box. The last element is to fill some of the white space with another image. Here we will crop in the image and leave enough breathing room for the image to not touch the body copy on the top or the main image on the right. And that's pretty much it. Following this concept of white space and the negative space around different elements will let you be able to create a layout that is more captivating and organized than ever before. Taking the time to push your designs to this next level will help you stand out among other graphic designers in the industry. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you use this tip in the next layout design project that you got going on. This is Ryan from Designer Bites, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.